Sit down and listen while we speak. It's time for us to spill the tea. Tea for you and tea for me. Building a big old family tree. Just us. Tea for two and two for tea. Building a big old family tree. Yeah. Just us. Yeah.
Just us.
And we're back. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Just Us. I'm Rodney.
I'm Qui.
And we just want to welcome everybody again. Don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. You can find us on all your social media platforms. And just join the community and join the conversation. So, Qui?
Yes.
How's your week been?
I've had a great week. Great weekend, relaxing. Looking forward to next week and the week after, and then Thanksgiving week.
Thanksgiving is always a big week, big time for family. Of course, the food goes without doubt. So that's good. If you're traveling, make arrangements now. As you see, it's crazy out there. So best of luck to all of you that's traveling. But just speaking on the topic of crazy, now I know this is not our topic for today, but there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. So I thought that maybe we should talk about a little bit about what's happening in the world, the hot topics, the hot concerns, just the latest issues of what's going on. And I don't know if you watch the news. I know you're a news watcher.
I am a news watcher.
So if you've been paying attention or if you've been watching the news, then you know our government right now is shut down.
Yes.
Shut down. And not only that, it's been the longest shutdown in U.S. history. That's another concern. Why is that concern? Well, I looked at some stats. So government shutdown, that means, can you believe this number quick? 670,000 people have been furloughed. 730,000 people are working without a paycheck right now.
Unbelievable.
During the holidays.
Yeah.
As we're approaching the holidays, 730,000 people are working without getting paid. Without being able to pay their bills and being able to afford the necessities of life.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous that the government is and the people in Congress are just not doing their part to get these people back to work.
Absolutely. And the disregard for human needs and human life is one of the biggest challenges that I'm finding, because we're supposed to be a nation that care for one another,
right,
and take care of one another. But I'm not so much feeling that right now from what's coming from the government.
Not at all. Not only that, it gets a little bit deeper, right? Because it's also saying that, of course, they have stopped right now SNAP benefits, right? Or they are refusing to completely fund the SNAP program, which means 42 million people in the U.S. are at risk of losing these benefits. These are people that depend on these benefits, right? The cost of everything is so high. They need these benefits to make it through. Yeah. We're talking about who's be most affected? Kids, children.
Yeah.
And that's just horrible.
And we see it, especially as we go through these next few weeks or so, hopefully not. But even, as an educator, I have students who depend on this, and so if they're not eating at home, we have to be able to make sure they eat at school, to be that provider. I'm finding myself buying snacks. I'm going to Target, Walmart, or whatever, and getting snacks, chips and stuff just to keep in my closet. So when I have a student that say, hey, I need something to eat, I have something. And believe me, my snacks are being eaten.
Right. Little things like that count. And many folks might say, well, not in my neck of the woods, or they're not too concerned because it doesn't affect them. But listen, right here in the state of Texas, that's where we are. 3.5 million people are being affected or affected and possibly losing these benefits, right? People that they work every day, they get up every day, they pay taxes every day, but they just don't have enough to make ends meet, right? And that's what these benefits are for. And what happened? The children suffer. what happened? The elderly suffer.
Yes.
And so we are hurting more than we are helping right now.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. And then it comes, especially with the elderly, like I have an elderly dad.
Right.
And, you know, he is on a fixed budget. He gets Social Security. He has to determine, thank God, you know, he doesn't have a house note and all those things. However, you know, he has to determine, do I get my medication? You know, he
Right.
has
It's a
medications to
juggling.
get.
Right.
He has a water bill, food,
Right.
like everything that goes with it. So, you know, when your Social Security, you know, you only get so much a month,
Right.
but you got
And
more
you're trying
month
to the money.
than money.
And you're trying to stretch it
Right.
out to see how it's going to how to make ends meet. And then you're at a predicament of trying to choose.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need most? My medication,
Mm-hmm.
food,
Insurance.
shelter.
Yep.
I mean, all of these things are necessities of life. And right now, it almost seems like our government doesn't care about the people.
Do they?
You have to ask yourself that. You really do. Because we're sitting here playing games with people's lives.
Yeah.
Right. And affordability of housing is already high. Our inflation rate, I looked up these stats. We're at over 3% in inflation. Unemployment is over 4%. And in the African American community alone, is 6.2%.
Yeah.
And so these numbers just don't add up if we're supposed to be a nation of compassion, a nation of giving, and the wealthiest nation in the world.
Yes.
Then we need to act like it. We need to show it, especially in the times like this. Because right now, the last time I checked, housing is still high. Groceries are still high.
Yes.
And just being able to afford the American dream is getting out of hand and out of reach for a lot of Americans.
Yeah. I remember, you know, when we were younger, the American dream was like something that we knew we could achieve.
Right.
Right.
We can obtain that.
We can obtain
Right.
it. Like it was like at our fingertips. We just had to keep grinding and pushing until we got there.
Absolutely.
But now, however, it's like, whoa. It's questionable. When you have a 1-bedroom efficiency like $2,000 a month.
Right.
That does not include utilities and all the
Right.
things that
Groceries,
come with that.
Utilities, insurance,
Yeah.
things that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's out of control. If you're a young person right now, just getting started, just moving out, trying to make your way, and you're trying to figure out, how am I going to do it? So now we're seeing more homes where, hey, I got to stay at home a little bit longer than I want to.
Yeah.
You're seeing more homes where you have generations, multiple generations under one roof in order to make it. Sharing the cost of living and sharing the cost of groceries because the jobs are few.
Yes.
And the pay is low.
Honestly, unstable because you just never know. You know how the market is right now. You never know if your company is going to have to lay off a third or more of their employees. So you might think you're okay right now and everything's going well. Oh, this shutdown doesn't affect me, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But in reality, it could trickle down.
Every segment just about is being affected, from the farmer that's tilling the crop, all the way to the person that's trying to bring it to the kitchen table. Mm-hmm. Everyone is being affected in some sort of way, whether it's through just, the tariffs making the products higher, or, people are getting furloughed. If you're trying to travel right now in the U.S.,
yeah,
it's a madhouse. It's a madhouse. Traffic controllers are, not there. Or TA agents not there, calling in, whatever the case may be. And it is chaos.
But I guess,
and my fear is that it's going to get worse before it gets better.
And my question is, like, what do we expect them to do? Because as a TSA agent, airline traffic controller, anybody who have these government jobs, like, the world does not stop for them. They still have to eat. They still have children to take care of, homes to pay for. Like, because the government is shut down for the reasons that they've shut down, does not stop their life from continuing.
Oh no, the bills are still due.
The bills are still coming,
and the collectors are still calling, and they still expect the mortgage. They still expect, the lights and the water and the gas and the groceries, and life is still moving.
Right.
Like they say, life is lifing.
Right.
This is it. This is the time.
And a lot of them, of course, they have to find some supplemental income. So they can, some people are not going to their job that they're not getting paid at, but instead having to go to a different job to get money.
Right. Listen, we're in a world right now where it takes two.
Yeah.
Right. It takes two incomes to have a quality household, to keep it moving. It takes two. Two jobs, two incomes coming in, and I say it all the time, and I've said plenty of times before, everybody needs some sort of side hustle.
Yeah.
That's just where we are right now, to bring in some extra income in some sort of way.
Right.
And it's just, I think it's just horrible. I think that it's a shame that we're playing games with folks' livelihoods and lives and using it as some sort of piece on a chessboard to make some sort of political gain, some sort of leverage. The cost of health care is doubling and just becoming out of reach right now for those that are on fixed incomes. And those that are maybe retired, so now they're, some are thinking, hey, maybe I got to go back to work just for the insurance.
Well, insurance has always been a numbers game, right? However, we fail to realize that, when you don't just have to pay copay, you still have deductibles and co-insurance. But don't get sick now. We just had our own share of health
going through
thing,
right?
So
still going through, so
right.
We understand.
We understand that insurance game and the money it takes to pay for your health. But can you even imagine it now? Like when I don't have a job. Well, I have a job, but I'm not getting paid for my job. My child has gotten sick, or I'm sick, or whatever. How do I go to the hospital? Because I already know that's going to be $1,500 off the top.
Right.
Just to walk in the hospital.
Choices.
Right.
Choices.
So it's just a situation to where, people are at the point where they're desperate. And when people get desperate, that's scary because things can start happening.
Spiraling out of control. Making irrational decisions. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're playing with people's lives and children's lives. And when we get to that point, people have started, could get angry and things definitely get out of control, which you don't want chaos.
Right.
We have enough chaos in the streets as it is, right? With ICE agents out of control and just jamming up and stopping people. I mean, it's just, the list goes on and on and on. And I don't know, you just got to ask yourself sometimes, what are we doing? Like, what is going on?
It's kind of like the world is on fire right now.
Definitely.
It's like the world is spinning so fast, and it's just, we just don't know when it's going to stop. We don't. And it's on fire. And the thing is, the only thing that's going to save us is him, God.
Right.
God is the only one that can intervene. I often say, we have to, when people who don't have Christ in their heart, that's a whole nother conversation, because those are the people who will turn to alternate things.
Right.
When they get in situations, instead of turning in praying about it, they go to the bottle, drugs, depression, anxiety, etc. Right. But we're at the point where, especially as believers, we have to know that whatever, even though the world is spinning fast and on fire, we're still safe.
Right. We're
God still
centered
has us. Yes.
With Christ. He is still the cornerstone. And we have to know that. If you're a person of faith, you have to know that this is the time that you have to cling and hold on to your faith tighter than ever before.
Yes.
Right? And know and understand that God still has a plan for you. Right? A plan to give you hope, to plan to give you a future. And you got to understand that he has something more in store than what you currently see. We have to understand that God is still in control, even though it seems like everything is out of control right now. That whatever you think you've lost, whatever you think that you're going to lose, we serve a God that'll give you double your portion.
Absolutely. And he makes a way. And so, people who are not maybe getting their benefits right now, that's why he created these angels on earth, because you have people who come together and help the community.
And you're seeing it happen.
And you're seeing it happen every day. People are sharing.
With food banks.
Absolutely.
Different sorts of organizations. People are donating more to these areas where people are in need now.
Absolutely.
Because, these people, you might see on the news now where there's lines at food banks, right? It's not just the holidays. Right. It's not just because, I got to prepare a Thanksgiving meal. This is constant. This is all the time.
Sunday.
This is exactly.
Yeah.
And so now is the time to put your faith in action and know and understand that God has something more from you. And you're going to weather this storm just like you've weathered past storms. If he's brought you through before, he's going to bring us through again.
Absolutely.
He's brought us through a crisis before, he's going to bring you through this one. And so although this is man-made and this is something that doesn't have to be happening right now, and it is definitely preventable, definitely stoppable, but know and understand that your hope, your future, and what you have is not in man, but is in Christ.
Absolutely. It's not contingent on the government. Thank
Absolutely.
God, because if my future was contingent on someone else signing a paper on something,
we would all be in trouble.
Absolutely. And I found that some of our greatest blessings from God was when we were in crisis.
It comes in a storm.
It comes in a storm. Don't get me wrong. He blesses us every day tremendously, right? And I'm not just talking about financial. I'm talking about just overall. When I wake up in the morning, that's a blessing. When I can brush my own teeth and wash my face and all those things, take care of my own being, that is a blessing.
Right.
But God has pulled us through. God has brought us through many things. When we were at our last bottom, God just some kind of way flipped that thing around.
He's a faithful God,
and we knew it was him. We knew that it couldn't have happened any other way but through him. So I'm saying that for those of you who are in this battle right now, right? We all in the battle. However, my household is not affected because I'm not a federal worker and you're not. But hang in there, keep trusting, keep praying. This is where community come in at. And as people who are not in that situation, we need to be more in the mindset of giving. Let's see
Absolutely.
how we can help our neighbor.
Absolutely.
I was looking at something on the news the other day, and it was people in different parts of the United States coming together in their homes and cooking meals and inviting their neighbors. And we don't know who live next door and what they going through, that they're in need. We just assume that they're okay because they live in the neighborhood that we live in, right?
Right.
But you don't know what people have going on in their house.
You don't. And now is the time to strengthen your village. Now is the time to strengthen your community. Now is the time to, if you have more, share what you have.
Yes.
Right? Donate to those churches. Donate to those food banks. Donate to those organizations that reach out and go beyond the walls to help others, because that's what it's about. Because you never know when the coin can flip.
Yes.
And you'll be in that situation. You never know when you might be the one that's in need, or you're the one that needs to receive some sort of benefits, and there's a block in the way. But God always provides. God always has that ram in the bush waiting to help you, waiting to help his faithful, waiting to help those that call upon him. And so I just know and I believe that those that are affected will get double their portion.
Yes.
And I believe that this storm that we're going through, I know it won't last forever. I know it won't last that long. And we're going to come out a stronger and better than we have before. This is not the first time that a storm has come.
And I've never seen a storm just hang over one person's house forever.
Exactly.
Storms pass. storms, the sun does come out.
That's
right. And so, one thing I would say is never be so cocky and into yourself like you are above a storm, because a storm will hit.
Right.
And that's what storms do. We are supposed to have storms. Why? Because that keep us, number one, grounded, focused, and connected to the Father.
That's right.
So, storms are important. It prunes us. It grows us up. It gives us wisdom. It helps us to, look at things in a different perspective. Sometimes we need to be shaken a little bit, that so God can get our attention. But don't give up.
Right.
Keep pushing.
Right.
Keep fighting. Keep reaching out to your neighbors, your family.
Exactly. Now's the time to expand that. Now is the time to strengthen that and grow that. And remember, you're walking through the storm. You're not staying in the valley.
Right.
You're not staying there. You're not pitching a tent there. You're walking through it. And so we as a nation, we're walking through it. Because although you say that, hey, it doesn't affect me, but it affects your neighbor.
Right.
It might affect your coworker. It might affect somebody else in your family. It could affect someone else, one of your associates. So you're affected in ways that many of us really don't even realize right now. And so by you reaching out and reaching up and helping someone else, because you never know when the storm could stop by your house.
Absolutely.
Right? So I don't know. I just think that is something that we have to really focus and realign ourselves and understand that, it takes all of us, to get through. And I don't know, this was just something on my mind and on my heart, because now it seems like, I don't even like watching the news.
Yeah.
Because every time you turn it on, it's something else that's troubling, right? That pops up. A lot of it is just unnecessary or man-made, that are preventable for sure. And so, but here we are. This is the situation. So what do? Do we cower? Do we run? Or do we hold steadfast knowing that God is still in control?
And if we won't change, we keep saying this, we got to be the change makers. We got to get out there. We have to vote. We have to talk to people about their stance on, what they understand what's going on. Some people just, like we voted, last week or so for Texas.
We did early voting. Right.
And some of those, 17
amendments.
Constitutional amendments. Like, if you just really was into the amendments and you knew everything, like depending on how you received the questions or whatever, determine how you voted.
Right.
Like, we have to educate each other, on the things that's going on around us. Because I always say the biggest contributor to my life that's dealing with elections are my local elections.
Absolutely.
The presidency, that's important. Don't get me wrong. The Senate, Congress, and everything, that controls the nations. But my school board, my mayor, my sheriff, the judges, all these people who are in local offices, my property taxes. Oh my goodness.
All those are big.
Those things are important. And so I would say get involved. You cannot have change or make change unless you are part of the changing system.
Part of the change maker.
So, like I said, just hang in there. I mean, we're gonna get through this. We are getting through this.
Right.
We still have people in this world that has a heart and love. And so there will be, bumps in the road, but we will get through these next. Hopefully this is over tomorrow, prayerfully. But if not, we still have to hold on, because God is in control anyway.
Right. Can't give up and you can't give in. So I don't know. These are just some topics or some issues that we wanted to bring up, that we wanted to bring to you. Leave your comment, leave your questions, leave your ideas, right? But whatever you do, get involved, join the conversation, and we can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Absolutely.
So until next time, be blessed.